yeah, that's where we're gonna sew today. We're gonna sew beautiful textiles. Okay, so I managed to cut the two sizes of the blue, the light blue. It's like a key ring, but you can attach your key, so you can attach it to your bag. You know me. If you watch any of my videos, you know that's my color. But how unbelievably gorgeous are these colors. Oh, wow. A few weeks ago, I contacted an upholsterer and asked if she has any textiles that she doesn't use anymore. The reason why I've done that is because I've been inspired by Christine Home Affairs. I've been watching her videos, like you probably have, for quite a long time. She looks like such a lovely, kind lady. And I know she's going through cancer at the moment. I can't really watch all her health updates because I'm an empath and my soul just hurts. But I don't know if she ever watches this, but if you do, lovely, I wish you all the best. I hope you could beat this. And I just want to let you know that you inspire me to go and get myself checked. I'm a 55-year-old woman and I've never had mammography, I think it's called. So I went and I got myself checked. And I know 98% of you are women of a certain age, just like the certain age is the good age. So if you're watching this, I don't want to get too serious about it, but if you're watching this, please go and get yourselves checked. Anyway, Christine, you inspire me to contact upholsterers and ask for textiles that they might have laying around and they don't use anymore. And the answer was yes, I do have some. Send her an email and she said, yes, sure, come and have a look at what we've got. I went and I showed her, I brought some of my samples, some of my pouches, and I said, this is what I'm making with them. And she was like opening them and closing them. They said, you made this? And I was like, yes. And it's like, oh, they're very, very pretty. They're so pretty. And then something is sparked in her mind and she just went around her studio and picking up big bins and getting some of these textiles. I'm going to show you some of the stuff. I'm thirsty. This, she said, this is a very expensive piece of fabric. And yeah, it feels it. It is absolutely gorgeous. This is just, she just gave me whatever she had in the bins. Obviously, this is not big enough for her work. But for me, and what I make is perfect. I really thoroughly, this is the biggest piece, but I have a few other pieces that she gave me. She was very, very kind, and she just went through stuff and started picking up stuff. This is a fairly bigger piece. I'm sure that she could have made a cushion or something, but I guess she makes them just for the clients. Yeah, she explained to me, she said, the expensive clothes, the expensive textiles that we get, we cut and make whatever the customer wants, and then we give whatever is left back because it's very expensive and they bought it. And I said, well, fair enough. But then I asked, do you have any sample books? Because as much as opening sample books ain't fun, they have a variety of colors on the same place that it works perfectly fine for me. Hold on. It works perfectly fine for what I make. This is like a tapestry kind of fabric. Look at these colors. I'm gonna really struggle to make a bag out of this and sell it. I'm gonna struggle not to keep it. I'm gonna struggle so much. I think this one is mine. But look at this beautiful pink. The books have bigger pieces and then have like smaller pieces. The smaller pieces, I cut them off and and they're like a solid color that goes with this color ways. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do like a patchwork and maybe make like a big bag, because these fabrics are really, really thick. I'm hoping my beautiful machine would be okay sewing with it. I'm gonna oil it before and change the needle before I even start trying. But she didn't want this book. Nobody in her atelier wanted the book. and she gave it to me, and I was stunned. This is another one because it's the aqua blue. But I think I will make one and I will sell one because I can't keep everything as much as I would love to. And then this one. These are just the samples of the fabrics that I got from her. And I was so grateful to her that today, what we're going to do is I'm going to go through my leathers and I'm going to find something that matches maybe this fabric. Because, you know, I have a few more pieces, but she was like, you know, this is a very expensive fabric. And I'm thinking I'm going to make something for her. The idea was first to make a pouch and just put my logo on it and just give it to her. But then this is where the week goes so good last week. Then we went to Gideon in Aalsmeer, and he had, you know, it's the leg of the day. You go, and some days I have gone, and some days being very disappointed and not getting anything. Sometimes you get the most awesome bag straps there are. Look at the hardware on this. Isn't it fantastic? It's like a weaving, cotton thick weaving. They're all different, and leather at the front, and they are all extendable. Yes, they are. So you could put a crossbody, or you could make it shorter for your shoulder. Well, I'm not going to be making noises with all of them, but I call 62. Look at this one. This one is smaller. So this one has a webbing at the back, it's gray, and a leather at the front, and it has a really cool lobster club. I think that's what they call. Also extendable. I was so chuffed to find these things because I don't know if I ever mentioned to you, I hate making straps. It's the one thing that I don't enjoy sewing. I don't know. I think it's because it's just boring and utilitarian, and there's not much more creativity to it. Now, have a look at these two together and tell me that these two wouldn't make an awesome crossbody for this lovely lady. For today, we are going to be cutting some of these beautiful textiles and make some bags. So I did cut one of the sides of the jacket, the back panel. It's already stitched into panels, so it's easy to use for me. But I actually put it next to my fabric, and even though the colors look amazing, this leather is very, very thin. I don't think I have a good enough iron interfacing to make this thick enough for the bag. So I think I might make the little coin purses with this bit. But I think I might get some of my leather itself. I have other jackets. Let's see. I do have some other leather. Some of them are very thin. Some of them are a little bit thicker. This might actually work. Don't know if you can see. This might actually work. It's as you can see, it's also from a jacket. Okay, let's try these pieces. Let's see if any of these pieces will work. So we're back here. Let's see. We have this piece. It has a lot more body to it. I hope again that, see, it looks amazing together. I think this is gonna make a beautiful, beautiful bag. And I actually really like the details of the jacket. I'm gonna try to use as much of the stitching as possible. That's the inside. Put all the markings, I guess, for the pieces. I never made a leather garment, but I deconstruct many of them. Anyway, I'm gonna cut some straps to stitch to this fabric to give myself enough width for the thing. I think I already explained this to you. I feel like I talk over so much, I talk over myself. Let me do this. Ta-da! That's cool, isn't it? So what I've done is I have attached two pieces. I cut the back of a jacket in half and I attach it here to give myself a longer piece of leather. So here we are. I could just put it half and half and use half of the fabric and half of the leather and pick some of this detail here, which is kind of nice. I think I might do that. Or I might do one side a little bit more, picking up all this corner here, because I think it looks good. It's a nice detail on the leather work. So I might do one of the pieces here. I don't like to waste this fabric here, but I might do this piece like this, and then the next one I'll do more of the fabric. I'm gonna cut it like that, and I'm gonna try to see if I can make at least 4 pieces, so I can give one for her, a gift. I'm gonna wrap it really nice with a nice ribbon and just make it nice, because it was such a lovely thing for her to do. And then I'm gonna make another one to either put it in the shop or for me. Probably for the shop, because, you know, I keep on saying my business, but my business at the moment seems to be me taking everything. So let me cut the 4 pieces and I'll show you what they look like. So great news. I got the 4 pieces of this beautiful fabric and leather. They're really, really nice. You'll see them when I'm done. And then I decided that the purple bag that I made for a couple of videos ago, when I used these fabrics and my purple leather, I'll show you. In a previous video, I don't know how many videos ago, I made a little bag with some of these fabric samples, and I used my beautiful leather, purple leather. Now I'm thinking I still have quite a few pieces, and I want to use the ones that are a little bit pink. I'm gonna try to mix them up with the purple leather, because I think it will look really, really stunning. But I also have some pieces, larger, smaller pieces of the blue denim one. And I have, I think, 2 pieces of blue. So I might make one of them. And somebody asked me, how do you take the wrinkles out of leather? Because obviously this is being in the storage for however long. Well, I simply iron it. So this one, I just iron a little bit. There's a mark where it was folded, but I actually think that gives a character to the leather. It gives a lot of character. Now, let me show you how I iron it. So I use my iron without the vapor, and on the wrong side of the leather, I'm being very careful and iron very carefully. It won't be obviously all stretched. You could also stick some leather iron-on interfacing, and that will stretch the leather a little bit more. But I am just be very careful and just put the heat a little bit so the leather will kind of stretch itself a little bit. I don't overdo it, because you can, of course, burn it or mark it, and you don't want to do that. But I don't know if you noticed that it's kind of starting getting a little bit flatter. More than anything else, it's easier to work with. Yeah. So the wrinkle itself is more or less gone. The marks are still there. But again, I say, that's the whole beauty of leather. So I don't mind this little bit in here. And with use, you're always going to get them anyway. But at least it's a little bit more flatter for me to work. I will make small pieces, this one. I might make one of these lovely coin purses. I don't seem to find where I have my pattern, but it really is just a rectangle that I have just rounded up the corners. So just 2 rectangles and just round up the corners. You could always do the round up corner with anything that is round. Just place it and then just draw around. You could do it with your cup of tea, your coffee, whatever. Let me not mention coffee too much, because I ran out of it, and I've just been obsessive sewing, and I've not gone to do some shopping. I might cut all of the pieces and then go and buy some more coffee, because it's still early in the day and I could do with some coffee. Yeah, sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles. This is the interesting bit when I'm trying to get the leather and the fabrics to match up and make the pieces. So I was just showing you super quick how I made these ones. I love that this detail here is the jacket, the back jacket, and I think you can recognize that's what it is. So yeah, I was very lucky to be able to patch up the leather enough to make myself 4 pieces. So that'll be 2 bags. That's that, and that is the last one. I need to be careful with his bag because this fabric, she wants to come undone. I might need to serge it actually. Should have thought about that, really, to be honest. Anyway, now I am on the blues because I have a few pieces of blue. I have a little bit more here. I might leave these pieces for the little coin purses because they're small. But I just want to show you what I do because it's kind of fun, but it takes me a little bit longer, to be honest. I'm just thinking, how will the bag look like? You know, how much of this fabric I want to put, how much of the leather I want to put. And I quite like the idea of having one side of the bag maybe just being leather, or maybe I could mix it up because this piece seems to be a little bit bigger than the purple one. So it's almost big enough. I don't know if you can see, it's almost big enough for one side of the bag, but not quite. So what I might do is I might put it vertically even, and I might, no, if I put it vertically, there's more waste. If I put it horizontally, and I choose to do it in the middle, can you see? If I put it horizontally, if I stitch these 2 pieces horizontally, let's say that they are already stitched, and I put them more or less in the middle, I still have these 2 pieces that I can stitch again and then maybe attach a little bit more, or I could go like this way and then attach, you see what I mean? Now the question is, I don't have enough here to make the 2 pieces. I could cut this fabric in half and cut 2 pieces with half and half leather, half blue, and make a really nice leather bag. And if I really, really wanted to stretch these pieces of fabric, I could do each of these panels with half and half of this, half of the leather, and the other side just pure leather, because it kind of gives the bag a little bit more of a structure, I think, than just the fabric, although the fabrics are quite strong and sturdy, and they are fully lined anyway. But yeah, I just wanted to show you how I pull around things from here to there and how I design each panel. Okay, so I managed to cut the 2 sizes of the blue, the light blue fabric with the leather. I think it looks amazing. And then I also managed to cut the darker blue, like a turquoise. That's one piece, and that is the other piece with the leather. So that's 2 blue ones. And I also managed to cut the softer purple one with the purple fabric. This one was perfect. Look at how the flower ended up. I mean, I have the samples that I have, and the motifs land wherever the motifs land. So anyway, I have cut 5 bags and all of the linings. And I was gonna start sewing, but I'm really suffering without the coffee. I am a coffee addict. That's who I am. And I really, really need the coffee because I'm like, life started getting, I mean, it's a beautiful sunny day and life is started getting looking a little bit gray. So I'm gonna go and get the coffee and I'll come back and hopefully finish these bags today. So I did go to get the coffee and it was about 15 minutes. It wasn't all that long. And I should have gone earlier because I cut all the linings for these bags. I've cut 5 bags. I prepare 5 bags and I prepare 5 of these ones. I wanted to do the ones that I want to take to the lady and the other one on this one. And then I wanted to do the other ones with the hearts. I mean, nothing is lost because these fabrics will look gorgeous with the other ones. These are the pockets already. But yeah, I should have waited to cut everything when I got the coffee. It was so windy. oh my God, it's like a 15 minutes walk and back. It really isn't that far. Whenever the journey is short, I just walk it, and it takes you longer to actually unlock your bicycle, cycle there, log your bicycle, than actually walk it. So I just walk it. But it was so windy, so windy. Anyway, I'm gonna be ironing all these ones now, preparing the labels, and then finishing the bags. So that's what we're doing right now.
It's our set.
I was just looking for zippers to match the bags, and I found these two cool brown ones for the brown bags, and then I found these blue ones that have a different puller. It has like a brown pull for the blue leather ones. Let me see. So it's not an exact match, of course it's not, but we're upcycling here. And then I found a purple one for my purple bag, this one for this one. I look for whatever I can find and I match it as well as I could. So here I have all my linings ready with the pockets, 5 of them. And I've done all my tabs. I hope I've done them all right. I've done 1 purple, 2 blues and 2 browns. So I hope they're all right. So what is next to do now is to start matching up the fabrics together with the bags and the tabs. So let's start with the browns because I want to see, I've seen how the other ones are, but let's start with the browns. I will put them together and I'll show you at the end. So it's quite late in the afternoon now. I have finished this bag. I ended up putting the cream one. I'll explain to you in a minute why. I think it's too lightweight. I love it. I love how it looks, but I think it's too lightweight. So I think I might need to, I don't know. I think I would like to put a little bit more weight on them. The fabric I thought had a little bit more body, but it must contain some kind of, the fabric must contain some kind of viscose, which is the fabric makes it a little bit more floppy. But what do you think? It looks really, really cool. I was looking for the handles that I got, and I think this is the only one that goes with this. Or I just put a black one. So, but I still haven't finished it because I think I might undo it and find some kind of self-adhesive ironing on interfacing. For both, because it just feels a little bit too supple, you know what I mean, too lightweight. Now, the problem with these brown zippers, I never have this problem. I started, look, I can't even open it. Okay, hold on. I stitched it to this one already. It's kind of halfway stitched to this one. And then when I went to open it, to stitch the second half, look, I can't. I don't think I can sell it like this when I think the last teeth are a little bit messed up, both of them, of the brown one. So if I close it, no, I can't open it. So you can't really do that. And also I think, again, it's too soft of the fabric. So the other ones, the purple ones, I haven't finished it, or the blue ones. So I'm gonna see if I finish that because I've already done the purple one and I know how it looks and I'm happy with that. So I might see if I can finish at least one of the blue ones. But as much as I love it, I think it's gorgeous. I think I'm gonna have to undo it and find some kind of really nice, I do have some, but I'm not sure. So I need to try that. Yeah, let me finish At least one of the blue ones, because I'm feeling a bit defeated. Let me see. So today is the following day. Yesterday I was sewing and sewing and sewing, and then suddenly my Miss Janome decided that she wasn't going to sew the leather with the pieces of fabric that I was working with. I was so frustrated by the end of the day that I decided I'm going to be doing something else for the rest of the video and for myself today. I'm not supposed to be sewing today. I have a lot other things to do, but I'm not thinking I'm going to be finishing the video doing that thing, because I ordered a double-sided tape to be able to tape the zippers to the leather, because the leather is very, very shiny. So she just didn't attach the zippers, and I was getting really, really frustrated. And I decided to let it be and do something else today. Today I wasn't meant to sew. I have plenty to do, trust me. I'm in the office now. But I remember some of these pieces of fabric that I wanted to do something with. So I decided to work on my smaller machine until I can get the little tape, the double-sided tape, so I can stick the zipper to the leather. I mean, I've made the purple one and another one, and the machine was perfectly fine. And then suddenly, I don't know if it's the blue leather is a little bit more shinier. I don't know why, but it didn't want to sew it. But I want to show you this, because I've been having in my head, I have so many things in my head that I want to do. Am I showing you on the right side? Am I? Maybe. I think so, yeah. Look at how cool this is. This has been in my stash for the longest time. I can't even remember when I bought it. I was just going through my stash and I found these beauties that I have here for the longest time, and have an idea of what to make with them. So I show you my little coin purse, the leather one. Look at it. This is linen, but it's super nice. And then this, I'm not going to show you all because I have quite a few pieces, but and they are very thin cotton, but I'm going to back them up. I'll show you my little coin purse. And yesterday I was working with some of the fabric that was given by the upholsterer. It has a soap inside because it just makes it look, smell gorgeous. And I think sometimes these fabrics are in like warehouses and things like that. So now it smells a lot nicer. I have this thing with the smells, you know. If I can, any clothes that I buy, I wash them straight away to work with it. But some of these fabrics are not so good to wash. So I put some, they're clean. They just, let me show you the inside. Yeah, they are clean, but they just smell of being in a warehouse. I found this little piece of fabric. I think it is about, it's the whole width length, but just about maybe 50 centimeters. Yeah, maybe 50 centimeters. And I'm using this lovely fabric to to make these kind of pouches. I want to show you something else that was working here. I was working with this kind of fabric, which is an absolutely gorgeous, super shiny. You can see that's the lining. So I was working to make some of these pouches. I have a couple only of these rings, which is like it's like a key ring, but you can attach your key, so you can attach it to your bag or inside your bag. It's very, very clever. So I'm thinking of making some more of this. This apparently was a piece of fabric that was in the curtains of, and I was told, quote, a very expensive hotel in Amsterdam. So this fabric comes from there. I don't know which hotel, but I know that some hotels are ridiculously expensive. What I do know, for instance, is that some of these fabrics, doesn't say on this one, but it did say it on the bigger piece that I took it off. These are a mixture of silk, cotton, and sometimes, I don't know, I think the silk might be the embroidery. Although it doesn't look embroidery, it looks like a jacquard. How gorgeous is this gray silver beautiful. Then you know me. If you watch any of my videos, you know that's my color. But how unbelievably gorgeous are these colors. Actually, to be perfectly honest, I think this is my favorite because it is such a beautiful, elegant color. So I am gonna do some little coin purses, but I wanted to have fun with the shape because I've done many of these guys. I have some coins in here. Many of these guys. And I'm kind of get a little bit bored. So today I was thinking that maybe I could try something with you. I could maybe try to do one of those triangle cute little coin purses and see if I could mix and match some of these lovely fabrics with some of these lovely fabrics. Sorry, this type. So, like for instance, this one goes this red with this. I know it's a different type of fabric and everything, but it's not gonna go into anything. It's gonna be like a little coin purse or a little keepsake, keep safe kind of thing. I'm thinking of because both of them are quite light. I'm gonna have to back them up, but I'm thinking of making this cute little triangle type of. I've never done them before, and I thought they will show both fabrics so beautifully if I do that. It has got to be my favorite. I'm gonna have to see how I'm gonna use. This is all I've got because these are samples. As you can see, I was trying to get the paper off. Actually, this one came out fine. It came out almost the whole thing. It just says Quantium color too. But it is cotton. You can feel it's cotton. Some of the paper is still attached, so I'm gonna have to remove it. But some of the other ones didn't come out, so I'm gonna have to figure it out how I can use as much of the fabric as possible. I have some very neutral colors, and I think these neutral colors will look gorgeous with that silky brocade or jacquard type of fabric. I think it's jacquard. So I'm gonna tidy up this tiny little area here, and I'm gonna see if I can make them. But because I haven't done any of them ever before, I don't want to use these fabrics because they're quite special, even though they're just a little bit. They're quite special fabrics, so I don't want to use them yet until I figure out how I'm making those purses. So I'm gonna go through. I'm picking up maybe some cotton or something that is I'm not feeling too precious about to have a first go, and then once I've done that, I can use these ones and maybe make a few ones. Because I was accepted by the market, they have a massive waiting list. So I'm in the reserve list for June, but I have given a place in July, end of July, which I really, really wanted to do it a bit longer. So I'm gonna have to apply for September and onwards from there, because I really want to see. I would like to see people's reaction to my product in a market, and it's such a lovely market. I don't know if you're in Amsterdam. It's called Pure Markt, and it's in the parks. It's in the Amstel Park, in Frekendale Park, and Amsterdam's Bos, which is the bosque of forest of Amsterdam, which is one of the most beautiful places in the world. Never mind Amsterdam. It's absolutely stunning. So if you ever have the opportunity, or if you've been, let me know in the comments. Anyway, let me tidy this up, find up a little piece of cotton, and see how we can make this triangle. I've seen them online, so it doesn't seem like that difficult to make. But yeah, I don't want to have a go at this with these precious ones first. This one I'm gonna have to finish it, but if I figure out how to do the triangle, I might even try to do a triangle with this one. Let's see. Anyway, since I'm not in speaking terms with Miss Janome, I'm gonna have to do it with this one. Let's find out something to sew with. So I found this piece of fabric. And when I say this piece of fabric, I actually was one of my bedspreads that I chopped it off. And I did it off camera because I didn't want anybody to tell me what I could chop off and not chop off. I have this bedspread since I was in London and we were pre-children. So this is the best part of 20-something years. And I've not used it for the longest time. It's too thin. And I just don't use it. But I haven't got rid of it because I knew I would sometime do something with it because it's absolutely gorgeous. I love it. And this kind of made me, and I also find this, sorry, I'm talking over myself as I always do. Just coffee just now. And that was like, I don't even think it was number 3. I was thinking it's more than that. I also have this fabric that I think I showed you in one of the videos. This is the fabric that I got, and it was on the masks kits, and I have a bucket loads of them. I want to pin them together and make something with it. But for the purpose of this sample, I have made myself a template with the size of my, it's a little bit bigger than my coin purse. It is this size. So I've made it for this size. And obviously it's about 1 centimeter shorter now, the bag, because of the seam allowances. But yeah, I've made myself a little pattern. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this bead as the lining, and I'm using this bead. I'm going to have to see where I can put it on to do the outer. But I would like to do 2 sizes because the other one is going to be 2 sizes as well. I just realized. I need to find something that goes with this. I don't think I have much in there here. But also, I figured out that you have to have, the zipper has to be bigger to do the triangle thing, bigger than your piece of pattern, than the pouch that you want to make. So I just realized I need a contrasting fabric. Oh, I could maybe use the bag. I could use the bag. One side I could have one of these lovely flowers. I need to choose which one. I like that. I like this. This one here. It's kind of pretty. So beautiful. This is what I never got rid of. So yes, did I mention that people, I don't know if I mentioned it, the people were commenting on my latest video about maybe you shouldn't, please don't cut off Hawaiian shirts. And I thought, I can understand that people feel attached to the Hawaiian shirts, especially the originals from Hawaii. I can totally understand. And some people say, I'm from America, somewhere in some other state, and I cannot find original shirts anymore. I can understand you wanted to preserve those textiles. But the truth is, I found it in a pile. I think I found that one in a pile in the market in, I was going to say Liverpool Street Station. No, in Waterloo Station. Again, no, in Waterloo Plain in Amsterdam. It's a flea market there, one of the most famous markets in Amsterdam. I was thinking, okay, so I shouldn't cut off these shirts. Okay, what do you think happens to those textiles that might not get sold on the pile on the floor on the flea market in central Amsterdam? What do you think happens to them? I'll tell you what happens to them. If they don't get sold here, they get sent to another countries, less developed countries. And what do they do there? They pollute their environment. They pollute their rivers, they pollute the deserts, they pollute everything. Or they flood the markets with secondhand, what they call dead white man clothes, I think they call it in some countries, that receive all these secondhand textiles. And I thought, I've made an absolutely gorgeous dress that I wear it a lot. Somebody else commented, oh my God, now you just need to have an opportunity to wear it out, like an occasion to wear it out. And I said, yeah, I went to the market 2 weeks ago and I wore it. I'm too old to be too precious about things. I love the dress. It fits me well. I got lots of compliments that day. The sun was shining up on the golden beads and everybody was, oh, that's a lovely dress. And I look cute on it. So, yeah, I thoroughly enjoy wearing it. Now the shirt has a life as a dress, and I honored the way it came from by putting the Hawaiian thing right in front of my waistband. So also, I never really thought that I will tell people what to do, or more importantly, what not to do with their own textiles. So it's kind of feel weird. So anyway, I can understand the sentiment, but I think the shirt leaving as a dress for myself is a much better end than what it would have happened from the market. I can guarantee you that much. Anyway, I think I decided I was going to use the back and the front. I'm just going to be using the pattern and see which flower I want to use. Okay, you're going to think I'm a little bit crazy, but I found this fabric. I have quite a bit of this fabric. So this is the one that I want to use for the outdoor. If you can hear my little doggy's nails, she's walking around. I'm thinking in the sake of, in the spirit of not waste. I quite like this flower, and I might just use this bit here because I really like this flower, maybe like that. Yeah. Anyway, this is quite a blue, green, and then there's this, and then the zipper is gonna be purple. So I actually think it will marry it, even though they are two total different fabrics. I'm gonna do this combination because I quite like it. So I'm gonna cut a piece of each of these. I don't need to line these ones because they are quite thick, both of them. I would have to line the other ones. Okay, I lied. I have interfaced these two pieces because it was still a little bit flimsy, and I think with a triangle shape it would look a lot better if I was to make them a little bit sturdier. I also went ahead and cut a few other pieces to prepare for the lovely fabrics. So now I'm gonna be putting it together. I quite like the combination of the fabrics with the I quite like the combination of the fabrics with the zipper. I know, sorry. I know they are not really super matchy-matchy, but I don't do matchy-matchy. I don't know if you noticed that. Okay, let me stitch it. As far as I understand, you just stitch it normally, put the zipper normally, but the zipper has to be bigger. That's the one thing I learned from Christine Home Affairs. I mentioned her before. Yeah, sorry, my dog wants to bark at some other dog on the street, I think. Okay, so let's do that. Let's put this one with a zipper and yeah, she wants to bark. And the lining. And then once it's done, I think that's when the magic happens. Okay, so we are at the place now where we have attached the zipper with the lining. And now I think I need to, this is what normally you would do. That makes no sense. Because I think, I don't know if you have to do this one first. So thanks to Christine, she was explaining, I need to stitch this thing and then stitch it here. I'm gonna line it and stitch it and I come back to you. I want to put the label on the pouch, but to be perfectly honest, I don't know where it will show because I think this will be the top of the triangle. So this will be the top. And I guess this is gonna, I can't really understand how it's gonna fold. So I'm gonna, I mean, this is a test one. So I might just put it here and attach like a little cord over there. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Okay, so now that we have you can see I've put the label there. So now that we have them stitched together, this thing, I realized that the white piece that I made for this fabric, it was slightly smaller. That's why there's a discrepancy here for a few millimeters in here. But anyway, I need to make sure that everything is cut on the right size. Okay, so what I need to do now, I'm following her tutorial. What I need to do now is to stitch one side close together. I think I'm going to do this bit here. I'm going to stitch this side close and leave a little opening on the lining so I can turn the bag around. Okay, so I now stitch this, and I'm just going to cut this corner, and I'm going to chop off a little bit of the extra, and same thing here. Okay, so now what I need to do is to stitch. I think I left an opening here, but I don't know if it's going to be big enough. So I think I'm going to suffer with that one. Anyway. Oh, I need to put the zipper in. I was just going to stitch it with, you know what? I'm going to give it a little stitch here. So this thing doesn't open like that, because I don't think that's going to help me. This is going to get chopped off anyway. So I just stitch it any other how. I just wanted these two to don't be flapping around. Right, so I need to put the head of the zipper inside. I might as well open it all the way so it's easier to turn it around later. Okay, and now, actually no, I can't do that because, okay, let's stitch it first. Right, middle point here to the middle point of the zipper. But I need to have the zipper. How do I do this? I'm going to have to pin it, don't I? Because, okay, let me see how can I do this. I need to have the zipper open because so that's not the beginning. Hold on. The zipper has to be open because the head of the zipper pull has to be inside the pouch. Otherwise, you know. Okay, I think that is pretty centrum. I'm going to have to find a way of doing this a little bit better. So I have to stop because I started stitching it, and then I realized that I also have to pin the lining the same way. I also have to put the lining flat the same way I've done the outer fabric, which makes perfect sense, to be honest. Okay, so it's done. I guess this is when we find out if I've done this right. I stitch it here, it's a little open, but I think it'll be fine. Famous last words, isn't it? Right, I'm just chopping that off, and I'm gonna have a little chop off the corners as well. Let's see if I can do this. Okay, that's good. Okay, there we go. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I wanted to do like a little hook to pick up the, like a little loop, you know, like a little handle basically. Oh my God, this is absolutely adorable. Look at this. Oh wow. Oh wow. So that's the top, is it? It is adorable. I think the zipper is down here. Yeah. So I think I would have liked to maybe have like a zipper pull here. I think next time I'm gonna put the zipper to open all the top here instead of closing on the bottom. See what I mean? So when I do the flip, to stitch this side together, I should do it the opposite. So the zipper ends up like this. Okay, we are ready. I have cut and selected the pieces. Let me show you this one first. I've lined them already with the stabilizer. I chose these two colors together because this is orange and this is red, and I think it looks gorgeous. I decided to put a cream one, a cream zipper. So it's a big long zipper. Again, all of them are gonna have this cute little darker lining. Then I decided to go for this lovely green. There is a bee here. I'm hoping that doesn't get cut off by the zipper. We'll see. And I chose to pair it with this blue, this baby pink, because I think pink and green looks gorgeous. And I decided to go for the purple zipper again. Same lining. And then I chose to do this one because this is one of my favorite fabrics. It's already lined, that's why it's a little bit stiff. And I chose to put it with this beautiful baby blue. I think it looks absolutely stunning. And also a blue zipper. I think they look absolutely gorgeous. So I'm gonna start making them up the same way I did the sample one that we made. And I'm gonna try to, looking at the sample, that I need to make the zipper on the top here, and I would like this label on this bottom here. So exactly the opposite to what I've made. Okay, so I have found this bundle of bias tape, and it's such a beautiful copper color. I just fold it over and stitch it in halves to create myself a cord. So I'm gonna cut the length, and I think I might use for all of them because I think it's such a beautiful, rich color. I think it will look good for all of them. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna cut it from here, and then I'm gonna cut it in pieces, like maybe that kind of thing. And yeah, about this size, I think is fine. And then I'm just gonna have 3 of them for now. If this turned up to be nice, I can make more. But at the moment, I'm just gonna make these 3. 3 is always a nice number. And I like make things and even odd numbers. Even and odd. I'm always kind of confused. Which one is it? Is it even? Is it odd? Even is when it's the same, that makes sense, yeah. Even is when it's like 2, 0, like 2, 4, 6, and so forth, and so on, and so forth. And odds is the opposite. So I like to make 1, 3, 5, 7. Those are good numbers for design. Right, I have my tabs. I need my labels, and we're gonna put it together. And hopefully I'm gonna do this properly, because it's a lot. I have this in here to do exactly the opposite. I hope I'm not having it here to copy it, because, you know, the way my brain works, I might end up making exactly the same thing. Right, let's see. So it is a couple of hours later, and I have finished the 3 a couple of hours, maybe not so much, maybe an hour or so. I have no idea. Yeah, an hour and a half. I have finished these 3 little pouches. I put the labels in different places. So the first one you saw, I put it on the front. And I don't know, I love the pouch. I love the fabrics. And I think it kind of takes a little bit too much out of the front of the garment, the bag. Sorry, I'm a little bit tired because I've not stopped. Then on this one, I put it on the side. The good thing is that at least I decided to make the stitching, the zipper in the right, correct way. So you know what they look like to me? They look like cheesecake pieces. Maybe I'm hungry too, apart from being tired. This combination is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. I love these 2, and I love this one. So on this one, what I've done is, on this label, I put it on the side, but I think it was too high on the side. So that's how the pouch looks on the sides. And I think it is too close to the seam there. And so on this one, I did the same thing. I put it on the side, but I put it a little bit lower. So kind of, if you see the pouch like that, you don't really get to see the label until you kind of turn it around. And it's not so close to the side. I think it looks a little bit better. I think this might be the way I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take some pictures, and I'm gonna be putting these guys on the website. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.